Got some fucking zits, dude. God damn it. I hate being a teenager. What is going on, everybody? My name's Connor. You guys can call me Superior. Today, holy shit, is this a requested video. This is literally the most requested video I think I've ever seen on my channel. The fucking hole is still there. It's literally still there. I punched that hole like 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, and it's still not fixed. I might be the laziest person on this planet. Literally. Anyways, what is going on, everybody? My name's Connor. You guys can call me Superior. Bringing you guys the most highly requested video I think on my channel ever. And that is BattleBeaver versus SCUF. About a week ago, I made a video titled A Cheaper, Better SCUF Controller. And it was me unboxing the BattleBeaver. I went a little bit in depth on why it was better than SCUF, but everybody wanted me to elaborate. And, well, that's what this video it is. Basically, I have numerous SCUF controllers here and one BattleBeaver, and we're going to compare them. We're going to take a look, and we're going to compare every single aspect of all the controllers. And hopefully at the end of the video, you guys will be able to decide which one you want to buy and which one is better. The unboxing video that I made received a lot of positive feedback, and BattleBeaver received a bunch of orders, and you guys seem to really like it. However, there were a few haters in the comments that left things like, you know, Superior, you're just salty because you're not sponsored by SCUF anymore. And to that, I want to say that when I first got sponsored by SCUF, I signed a 1-year contract with them. And that 1-year contract basically said, you know, you're sponsored by us, you have a discount code, and for each code that, you know, somebody uses, you get like 10% of, for each code used, I got a little cut. Also, another comment I saw a lot was that I was just being paid to promote them, and I'm being paid by BattleBeaver. To that, I want to say I've never been in contact with BattleBeaver. They don't follow me on Twitter. I don't have their email address. They've never even liked one of my tweets, and I tag them in a lot of tweets. And I have a video with over 100,000 views unboxing their controller, and I've never been in contact with them. I have no contract. I do have a discount code on their website. I think I might get a cut. Like it's like 10% off. I think I might get that 10%. I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, I don't have a formal contract with them. The whole deal, or the whole me getting a controller for free, was all mediated through one of my managers who had a contact at BattleBeaver and basically said, hey, this guy used to work with SCUF. He doesn't like them anymore. You guys are a similar company. Send him a controller and maybe he'll pimp your product. And well, that's what I'm doing because I like their product. So no, I am not being paid, except for maybe a portion of the people that use my discount code, but there's not even a formal contract to enforce that, so it's like they could just keep the money. So no, I am not being paid to say good things about BattleBeaver, and I want to make that clear. What you guys are looking at right now is all of the SCUF that I currently have. I've had way more SCUFs than these over like the history of me being a Call of Duty player, but these are just the ones that I kept. Let's be honest, if you had a broken controller, what's the point in keeping it? You know what I mean? Especially because I moved a lot in the past 2 years. So these are just the SCUF controllers that I have, and not a single one of them work. Each one of these, except for maybe this one, I think this is like a $150, or no, probably like, it's got trigger stops, like $120 controller, but other than that, all of these are literally like $250 pimped out controllers, and every single one of them broke within 2 months. As a matter of fact, this one showed up in the mail broken. It literally came in the mail not working. This one I smashed against the wall when Black Ops 3 came out, so I mean, this one was my fault. There was nothing I could do about that. You know, this one, or okay, no, it's not SCUF's fault. This one was my fault. I accept responsibility for this one. You know, SCUF gets a freebie. That's my fault. Now what happened to this controller is the paddles stopped working. On SCUF controllers, how they work is they have paddles, and when you push the paddle, it hits a button. Like when you push it, you see the button right there? So you're hitting a button, you're hitting the pedal, which is hitting a button, which means more moving parts. And what happened on this controller is this thumbstick doesn't click at all. Like, you can't sprint with this controller at all. It doesn't work. Also, the paddle stopped working. Like, when you click it, it just doesn't do that. Like, this should be B and this should be A, but neither of them work. They just don't like register at all when I push them. With this controller, before I ripped the paddles off, the paddles just stopped working. I had to rip the paddles off because they were fucked up. And what I mean by that, when I pushed the paddle, it wouldn't hit the button. You see the button right there? Normally the paddle's right there, so when you push the paddle, it hits the button. And for some reason, the paddle fucked up and would just stop hitting the button. So I ripped the paddles off and would literally play and manually push these ridiculously small buttons, which isn't convenient whatsoever. So this controller, SCUF's fault. Also, I want to note the thumbsticks. Look how gross that is. Like, do you see that? That's pretty disgusting. Remember this for later in the video. Now, SCUF isn't all bad, okay? There are some areas in which SCUF does compete and even beat BattleBeaver, and one of those is the Pro Grip. Do you see the texture on this controller? It's literally like some sprayable sticky adhesive that when you feel it, like, it's sticky. You know, if you play, your hands are not gonna sweat, and I really like this. I really like this. This is an awesome feature. It feels cool on your hands. Your hands don't get sweaty. It's just a nice feature, and that's something that BattleBeaver doesn't have. If you see with the specific blue tiger I got, it is kind of plasticky, so if I play for a long time, my hands will get a little bit slippery, but that's not the biggest deal because, I mean, as long as you're gripped onto the thumbsticks, and who cares if your hands are slippery. Also, look at the thumbsticks. If you see, I got the domed PS3 thumbsticks. They last so much longer than the ones SCUF used. SCUF used to use these thumbsticks. Like, if you buy a SCUF controller and select domed thumbsticks, they used to give you these. But now they give you these that have, like, the SCUF logo on them, and they break so fast. They just feel like such lower quality. You can bend them with your fingers. SCUF, if you're watching this, go back to your old thumbsticks. These break so fast. My Twitter timeline is, I go on Twitter at least once a week and see somebody, like, a picture of somebody's thumbstick just broken in half. Fix it, okay? It's such, stop with the logo shit. Get rid of it. Stop. One of the biggest advantages that SCUF has on BattleBeaver is the infinity. Basically what the infinity is, if you see the rings around the controller, basically you can change the thumbsticks at any time just by using this tool, and they'll give you a little, you know, pack of thumbsticks with short, medium, and long, and then you can change them whenever you want, which is nice and convenient, and I guess solves the thumbstick breaking problem, but that means there's more moving parts. All of my SCUF Infinities and everybody I know that has had a SCUF Infinity has had their Infinity break faster than their non-SCUF Infinity. So basically, SCUF Infinity equals more moving parts, which equals breaking faster, so I wouldn't really recommend it. I also am not a fan of the paddles on the SCUF. Like, SCUF was the first people to make a controller with buttons on the back. Why did they put the paddles? Like, what is the need for the paddles? Why not just put a button like BattleBeaver? When you add paddles, all that does is add more moving parts and more shit to break and more stuff to go wrong. So that is why I don't know, I prefer the buttons over paddles. Maybe that's just a preference thing, but if you think about it logically, the buttons are gonna last longer because the SCUF is buttons too. You're just pressing it with a big paddle. SCUFs are also way more expensive. Now that we talked a lot about SCUF and I covered how all my SCUF controllers have broken, what the problems have been, let's move on to the BattleBeaver. Now, I'm going to point out some cons with the BattleBeaver as well. I'm not just going to, like, deep throat BattleBeaver the entire video. Don't worry, this controller is going to get some heat too. The first point I want to make is, one, it's cheaper than SCUF. This controller is cheaper than this controller. So, I mean, if you want a controller with buttons on the back, and you don't want to spend a lot of money, like, this one's cheaper. Also, the thumbsticks, I already talked about that. Not only can you get different lengths, I just got the normal length domed. You can get medium, tall, short, and you can also customize the tightness. And this is something that I don't know why SCUF Gaming hasn't added. I got my thumbsticks set to the 360 controller tightness. They literally made my thumbsticks tighter so they're more difficult to move. You can get them like 100% tighter, 50% tighter, 50% looser, 100% looser, like however, there's so many options to customize with the thumbsticks that it's unbelievable. Just SCUF can't even compare when it comes to customization options. Next is the trigger stops. If you see on the SCUF controller, that's their trigger stop. You see that little thing that comes out right there? Basically what a trigger stop is, it just makes it so there's less time between, I guess, shots if you're using a single shot weapon, so you're not wasting all the extra time for your like finger to push the button all the way down. It'll just let it go down far enough to where it'll register that it's shot. And if you look on BattleBeaver, this is their trigger stop. Ready? Look how much less movement there is. Look at that. That's not even comparable. Like, there's no comparison. There's less movement on the trigger than there is one of the buttons on the controller, which is insane. I can't tell you, it's literally like having a modded controller every time you use a pistol. You can shoot pistols and single shot weapons ridiculously fast, and it's a genius idea, honestly, it really is. Also, when I ordered my BattleBeaver, it was to my door in 5 days. 5 days. However, you have to keep in mind that was before I made a video that is over 100,000 views talking about BattleBeaver, and it's the holiday season, so I think both of those combined, they're probably going to be pretty flooded with orders. And I'm on the BattleBeaver site right now, and you can't even purchase a controller. Like, they're so flooded with orders, and so many people are switching from SCUF to BattleBeaver that their shite, that's not even a word, but their site is literally like, you can't buy controllers on it right now. So if you are interested in a BattleBeaver, I'll throw the link in the description. However, you might have to wait a day or two for them to put their controllers back up because they have so many orders. Now, my biggest complaint with BattleBeaver is the grip, I guess. Now, like I said, you can get sweaty, or I do get sweaty when I use this controller, just because if you look, it's a really shiny material, and you can see how that, you know, it would get sweaty on your hands. However, I think that was just because of the like the camo color thing that I bought. If you look at SCUF uses the exact same. It's just I bought like the fucking blue tiger one, and like the SCUF does the same thing. Just don't buy the one I did, you know what I mean? Like, buy a different texture one, and it makes sense on the website. You'll see what I'm talking about, but don't buy one with this plastic. I wish they had something like the SCUF grip, but sadly they don't. They're partnered with Squid Grip, which is like this plastic big thing that you put around the side of your controller, but I don't really want to put some, like, you know, wrap around my controller. That's kind of AIDS, you know what I mean? One of the questions I saw in the comments of the last video, everybody was curious about the buttons on the back and how they actually work, and, you know, people were asking, like, Superior, what if that's not, like, naturally where my fingers lay? Like, if that's not in the right spot, you know, I hold a controller weird. If you play claw, you know, there's so many different things that could affect if your fingers comfortably placed on the buttons or not. And when you're creating the controller, there's numerous different options. You can put the button wherever you want on the back of the controller. So make sure before you buy your BattleBeaver, look at the controller, look how you hold it, and see where you want the buttons placed to where it'll be most comfortable and most convenient for you when you're playing. Honestly, at this point in the video, you're probably asking yourself, why is, like, SCUF even a company, I guess? And it's just that SCUF was the first people in the gaming industry to come out with a button on the back controller. Like, they were the first people, and they established this standard in the community. Everybody is sponsored by SCUF, and it's just the norm. You know what I'm saying? It's just normal that if you want a controller with buttons on the back, you go to SCUFgaming.com. That's just how it is. All the YouTubers promote it, all the streamers promote it, all the pros promote SCUF, everybody promotes SCUF, but when in reality their product isn't better, and there are better companies out there making similar products for cheaper that are better, last longer, and just better. I'm not trying to break that norm. I'm not trying to break that status quo or whatever. I'm just trying to give you guys the option and open your eyes to other options. If you still decide to go with SCUF Gaming after watching this video, then that's dope. But personally, it's like, this is more durable, it's better, it's more options, and it's cheaper. Like, why wouldn't you buy the BattleBeaver, you know? Anyway, like I said, I wasn't paid anything to make this video. I might get a % of the discount codes. I'm not sure. I have to talk to them if they ever follow me on Twitter. I don't know if that's ever going to happen. Hopefully one day. I mean, they're not the biggest company in the world. I would wish they would acknowledge me on Twitter. BattleBeaver, if you're watching this, just acknowledge my existence. Follow me. Send me a tweet, something, because I like you guys and I really... Oh, also, look at this. This is the case that BattleBeaver sent me. Now, SCUF does use a similar case. It's like the same type of thing. But look how big it is. You know, this is like a gun carrying case. Like, if I got pulled over and they saw this in the back seat, I bet that cop would draw his gun on me, man, because this is a heavy-duty case. So I'm happy about this. It's just a nice touch, you know. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope I informed you. Feel free to buy a SCUF if you want one, but personally, I would recommend BattleBeaver, coming from somebody who has used SCUF for a long time. I have been a SCUF user since Modern Warfare 3. That's when I got this SCUF. Look at this SCUF is so old. It's before they even started putting SCUF gaming on their paddles. Like, that is how old this SCUF controller is. Like, the paddles things are rusted. There's literally rust on this controller. That's how long I've been a SCUF user, and I guess a SCUF fan. But it's finally gotten to the point where I've had too many broken controllers. I don't fuck with that company anymore, and I'm distancing myself from them. And BattleBeaver is going to be the company that hopefully I'll be working with. They have, like I said, they're not paying me any money or anything, and I don't know. That's BattleBeaver, dog. BattleBeaver. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Feel free to smash the thumbs up button. Let me know your thoughts down in the description. I'll leave the links to both SCUF Gaming and BattleBeaver in the description, so you guys can go and, I guess, look at or buy whichever one you decided you like more, if you actually wanted one. However, you know, BattleBeaver is like out of stock since it's the holidays, so wait a day or two. It'll be back up, I'm sure of it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and I'll catch you all later. Peace out.